Welcome to the YouGoin'Pro podcast. YouGoin'Pro channel. This is your host, Savelle Laurie, Coach Laurie. Hey, if you like any of this content, I ask you to subscribe and like. And don't forget hit that notification bell because guess what? Every time great content is coming out, you'll be notified. But I'm gonna get right to it. Let's get right to it because today's topic is one of those topics that all athletes go through. And the bottom line is this: what are the top 5 things that you don't need to do to make sure you get putting yourself in the best position to succeed? Let's just put it that way. And I'm going to get right to it because I don't want to waste your time. The very first tip is this: set personal goals. And I said that to say this. When I say set personal goals, you have to be able to define clearly what is your personal goal, your goal. Make sure it's achievable for yourself. Like I said before, because I don't want you to have goals for the person you're trying to compete for the position. Set personal goals for yourself that are achievable. Then you can relate to see how much you've improved, what's your skill level, also with fitness level, and also mental level, having something to strive for and keep you focused and driven. So those are the reason why I say personally that you need to make sure that you set yourself apart from everyone else, because the bottom line is everyone nowadays in college, they're transferring, they're looking for the NIL deals, but sometimes do you really need to transfer? And I just went over that earlier because I had a podcast, and I talked about that. And if you want, we'll talk about that later. But I want to make sure that I'm going to stay focused on this assignment. And how can you stay motivated for the assignment that you're with? For example, we want to make sure that you don't want to transfer, or how do you know that it's not the right time? But if you first have set personal goals that are achievable. The second thing is this: celebrate small wins. For example, if you played last year or the year before and you hit 280 and now you're hitting 285, celebrate that, because baseball itself, and not just baseball, any sport, it's a process. It may not move as fast as you want, but it will grow in due season. For example, when you are eating an apple, when you eat an apple, right, that you know that it was a seed before it became an apple, and it was a process that had to go through. But you enjoy the manifestation of the apple from the seed. So celebrate those small wins. Celebrate them. Congratulate yourself. Recognize, no matter how small they are, celebrate that. Whether it's good in practice or whether it's good at playing scrimmages, if you're improving your stats, whatever it is, celebrate those small wins. With that, we're going to go to tip 3: stay focused. That's something that in today's society, in today's generation, not just the people, that generation that we're dealing with the social media, but in general, everybody has an issue with staying focused. I'm sorry, staying positive. I apologize. Staying positive, because there's so much bad news going on with the news, with social media, with this, with that. My main thing is this. Here on this channel, we focus on the one main thing is to help you stay positive. If you can stay positive, that's half of the battle itself. Maintain a positive mindset every single day. I know it's a battle. It's 365 days, 24 hours in a day. I know that. We all go through it. But if you start taking these small steps, setting personal goals, celebrating small wins, staying positive, and with staying positive, surround yourself around people with like-minded spirits because you won't have that issue. If you got a guy that you're competing with or competing against, and he's negative, or whatever the case may be, you might need to move away from that person because birds of a feather flock together. It's called power association. Think about it. There is a old saying in the good book, and there was a guy by the name of Abraham, and Abraham was a very wealthy man, and God told him to go to a certain place by himself, but somehow, some way, his nephew followed him, Lot. What does it have to do with what we're talking about? I'm trying to show something. Power of association. So Lot was blessed because of Abraham, because Abraham had the blessing on him. So I'm saying that to you. Someone can have the curse on them. And even though you're trying to be a positive person, but the curse can come upon you. So you got to surround yourself around positive people. Focus on the things you can control, because there's always going to be setbacks, but every opportunity is a lesson so you can grow. Come on now. We do this. This is what we do. This is what we do. You can do this. Stay positive. The next tip is this. I want you to have visual success. When I say visual success, also here's another one. If you don't write the vision, you don't know where you're going. Because if you're setting personal goals and you're celebrating small wins and you're staying positive, you should be able to have a visual success chart in your head. It's like a dream chart, a vision board of what's your vision, your visualization success chart you're looking at. Spend time looking at that chart or looking at visualizing yourself on the field doing X, Y, Z. Imagine yourself making those good plays, hitting that home run, making that great pitch. Mental practice will enhance your confidence and your motivation. Trust me. Bad focus creates bad focus, bad things. Great focus produce great things. You think about that, all right? Because if you think about it, visual focus, you got to see yourself successful. You got to see yourself doing something good. You got to see yourself hitting that game-winning hit. You got to see yourself making that game-winning touchdown. You got to see yourself kicking that last goal to score soccer. You got to see yourself spiking that ball down in the last minute of the game-winning point. You got to see yourself. Visualization, focus, a dream board, vision board. Tip number 5, you have to stay engaged. And I said that because at the end of the day, guess what? We got social media, we got Instagram, we got TikTok, we got Facebook, we got TikTok. I'm sorry. All of these social media channels, use them as a positive instead of a negative. There's people using this for the wrong reasons, but I encourage you, and I hope and pray that you can listen to me as a coach and a former player. I know what it's like. You have to stay engaged. You have to remember, even when you're not playing in the game, even when you're sitting the bench, you got to stay in the game. Because when your time comes, you got to be motivated. You got to be ready. You got to be able to do what you can do to make it happen. Stay supported for your teammates. Stay focused, stay engaged at practice, and have a very, very strong work ethic. Don't let no one outwork you. Stay engaged. I'm going to give you 3 extra tips. I told you I was going to give you 5, but I'm going to give you 3 more because I really, really want you to succeed. This is what we do at YouGoin'Pro. We develop proficiency. In order to develop proficiency so we can assist you for the passion for the game you love, we got to show you what proficiency looks like. Proficiency is the highest level of excellence. We want to make sure you go to the highest level of excellence at YouGoin'Pro. That's the purpose of this. You need to have inspiration. People say inspiration can go away. Yeah, inspiration comes and goes. It does. It's like turn on and off switch. Where do you get your inspiration? Where do you get your source of help? Where do you get your motivation? Do you have quotes? Is there an athlete you look up to? What happens when you're challenged in a professional game? What happens when things don't go your way? How do you keep your inspiration? How do you keep your level of expectation? How do you keep that dream board in front of you? How do you keep staying positive? How do you celebrate those small wins? How do you set personal goals if you can't have any inspiration? Why are you doing this? What's your why? What's the why factor? What is your why factor? Well, my why factor was this. When I was playing baseball, I didn't play high school baseball. I was just blessed to have opportunity. I played a little league. I played pony league. I played all the leagues. Rec ball. They call it rec ball. They call it rec ball back then when I played. I'm not trying to tell my age, but we didn't have all the things you guys have today. But how I found inspiration was this: I was the only baseball player in my family, and I'm the only left-handed person, and I was different. I didn't want to play basketball. I wanted to do something different. And I wanted to get to the highest level as fast as I can. And then on top of that, after I made it to that level, I told myself that I can make it. And my motivation was I had all these negative things around me to motivate me. So if you're like myself, the old young Seville, if you're like that, find inspiration, find something that can keep you going. Because you can make it. You know, you can do this. Tip number 7. Take care of yourself. I talked about this today in my podcast. You have to take care of yourself. Garbage in, garbage out. Remember that. Ensure that you take care of yourself physically and mentally. Physically and mentally. I'm going to say it again. Physically and mentally, not just hitting a baseball or making that winning catch or throwing a great pitch or kicking the goal. What are you doing physically and mentally? What are you doing to take care of yourself? Get enough rest. Eat good. Eat well. Healthy. Manage your stress level. When you feel good, you play good. When you look good, you play good. You do good things. And I said that to say this. You have to be mentally prepared. You have to be. So you can stay motivated. Here's the last tip. Tip 8. You need to get some feedback. And we're not talking about your brother, your sister, your mother, your dad, your uncle. Unless they can give you some serious constructive criticism that you can take it. Because you need feedback, because if you get feedback from other people besides your coach or a trainer or someone, they're going to let you know where you are. Constructive criticism is very good for you. It helps you develop and self-image who you really are. It's like looking in the mirror. Somebody that does not, someone that doesn't even know you, that they do it for their profession. Is this who they are? This is what they do for a living. It keeps you focused on your development. So remember that when you're having a situation, you're trying to stay motivated and things aren't going as planned, when you're not getting the playing time, those are the 5 things you should do. How to stay motivated when things are not going good. What are the tips we should do? Well, I just went over 8. I gave you 3 extra ones, and I'm gonna go real quick. Number 1, it's a recap of everything. Set personal goals. That's the first thing you need to do. Number 2, celebrate small wins. Number 3, stay positive. Number 4, visual success, like a dream board, and look at it every day. Number 5, stay engaged. 6, find inspiration somehow, some way. Get a source of inspiration. Number 7, I told you I was going to give you 5, but I'm giving you 8. Take care of yourself mentally, not just on the field hitting the ball or shooting the basket or I can dunk higher or I can jump higher or I can hit harder. What are you doing mentally and physically? Remember, your body is your greatest asset if you're an athlete. And the last one is seek feedback from someone besides your parents, someone that does it for a profession, someone that doesn't know you, or someone that has an interest for you to get to the next level, and you can take uh, constructive criticism. Hey, this is your coach Laurie. I hope you enjoyed it. This has been a blast. This is the YouGoin'Pro channel, where we help athletes develop proficiency in assisting them in their passion for the game they love. Hey, if you like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell. I'm going out right now. Take care. It's Coach Laurie. Bye-bye.